Because if you're going to stay in the God zone and you're going to listen and be close to God all the time and always feel that nearness to Him, then the first thing that I've got on your notes is this. The key to the God zone living is to practice God's presence. It's practicing God's presence. Now, this is weird for us, and it's hard for us because we're natural. We're not spiritual people naturally. We're physical people. So practicing God's presence is something that we have to do. We literally have to practice the discipline of it. And I got to thinking, what would that kind of be like? It would be like kind of if you had a take your pastor to work day. You know, you got to take your kid to work day and all that. If we had a, Chris, this is your take your pastor to work day, I just got a feeling somehow, because people act weird when pastors are around them. But what if you had a take your pastor to work day? Well, the way it would go would be, you'd be thinking in your mind, Royal teaches us this all the time, and this is the way God says we're supposed to act, and I've got my pastor with me, so I've got to watch the jokes that I say, and I've got to watch the things that I do, and it would just be kind of a weird thing as I walked around with you all day long, and it would be real easy to remember that I was there, especially if I was to go, Danae, you probably shouldn't have said that, and was that really the truth that you just said to that person? You know what I'm saying? It would be easier, wouldn't it? But the Holy Spirit is a spirit. So it's very easy for us to get busy and to get distracted and forget that God's with us. So what I want to teach you tonight is Jesus is saying right here, right smack, just the second line or so of this prayer that He's teaching the disciples. He's saying, look, the bottom line is this. If you want to live your life the way you're supposed to live your life, then what you've got to do is you've got to practice God's presence. You've got to realize that He's with you all the time, and that's something that you've constantly got to think through and pray through and live your life with a clear conscience and live your life in such a way that you recognize Him. Because I'll tell you what, whether you recognize the fact that God's there or not, when you became a Christian, the Holy Spirit entered your life. We looked at that passage last week. The Holy Spirit entered your soul. The Holy Spirit is with you. God is with you all the time. The only reason you don't recognize He's there is that you're not listening and you're not watching and you're not being aware of.